In this next video, let's go ahead and add a new case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either select a patient that's already in our library, or we're going to add a new patient and we're going to start a new case. So we will do a test case, and I will just do the patient ID number and we'll click on add a case. Again, this is no different than the previous software version. What is different is these icons. Now, instead of going through layer after layer, page after page of selecting cases, we have our selections already open. I can open and close these selections by clicking on the tabs on the side. And the way we start is I'm going to do a single restoration. So let's say I want to do a crown on the lower left molar. Okay, so if we're going to do a crown on the lower left molar, I would do a single restoration. We have to decide what type of restoration we're going to do. So we'll select a crown. We have to select what type of design mode we're going to do. Let's do it in biogeneric individual. We would select our material. These are our favorite materials that we've selected in the past. These tabs I can grow and make longer or shorter. They always stay open and I can move them around, so it makes it a little bit more convenient. So these are my favorite materials that we've selected in the previous section in the configuration menu, or I can go through and say I'm going to select something that's not on my favorite menu. Let's pick a Sirona block, and we will pick a CEREC block CIN. Okay, and then you would select the tooth number. Once I select the tooth number, if I want to do multiple teeth, I go ahead and select multiple teeth. Okay, now the case details for each tooth are listed on the side. If I want to activate smile design, we click on smile design. If I want to activate articulation, we click on articulation. Both of these need to be activated in the configuration menu. I can turn those off. Once these teeth are selected, now if I want to change any of these teeth, I click on the tooth that I want to change and I click on the edit mode and I say, using a CIN block on the posterior is probably not the smartest. Let's go ahead and possibly do just a regular CEREC block from Sirona. You would select your milling device over here, whatever you're connected to, and then once you've made your changes, you click apply. Let's say on tooth number 20, I'm not doing a crown, but I'm doing an onlay. Once again, I would select the tooth that I'm working on. I would click on the edit icon, and I can now change the different configurations here. So instead of a inlay onlay in biogeneric or a crown in biogeneric individual, we might be doing an inlay onlay in biogeneric copy. You can change your material. Let's say in this case we want to do a 3M Lava Ultimate block. And then again, select your milling unit. If you're happy with the changes, go ahead and click apply. If you're unhappy, you can go ahead and click the X on the side here. If you decide that you're no longer doing a restoration, click on the restoration, click on the trash can icon, and delete that restoration. If you want to fabricate other restorations, for example, now I'm going to do an implant abutment on this first premolar. We would click on implant. We would decide, are we doing a screw retained crown or a multi-layered crown? And then what design mode that we're doing, and then select our framework. Our framework, we can select, let's say, for example, we're going to use the Emacs CAD block. On top of that framework, we're going to put, because we did a multi-layer abutment, we're going to put, for example, Empress. And then we would select which tie base or scan post that we use for scanning. This is very critical. If you don't select this properly, your proposal will be incorrect. In the old software, there used to be a default. Now there is no more default. You simply select the tie base that you're working with or the scan post, and then the manufacturer, and then which implant company you're working with. So if we, for example, use Zimmer here, then we've designated our materials and our tie base, and then we select which teeth are going to get those types of restorations. So as you can see, the workflow is very similar to the previous software versions. However, the way you do it is much more streamlined. You don't have to go through multiple pages. And if there's anything that I need to edit, I can simply click on the edit function here or over here and change any of these and change the designation of my restoration. In the next video, we will look at the acquisition window for the particular 4.4 software.